What's up guys, Stitch Productions here, and today we're going to be doing another versus review, and this will be my first Transformers versus review, and we'll be looking at the RTS G2 Optimus Prime and the Legacy United G2 Optimus Prime. Now, who is G2 Optimus Prime? Well, this was created for the Generation 2 toy line, which was a sequel to the G1 toy line. This was a revamped, mostly repaints, but this was one of the first original molds and one of the first new designs for Optimus Prime that actually has stayed popular and relevant for a long time now. I mean, we just got a re-release of this figure this year for the Legacy United toy line, and we even got this one in 2010. So, we'll be looking at the RTS figure first, which was one of the first revamps of this figure. Now, this was a deluxe class figure that, for the most part, is pretty fun with a few flaws, in my opinion. Now, if you guys remember, back in the day, these deluxe figures were definitely a lot more than what we expect for a deluxe today. Different plastic, different articulation. So take all this, my criticisms on this figure with a grain of salt. Looking at the vehicle mode, it is very nice looking. And comes with a very nice deco all over it. It is more stylized. It's not necessarily one-to-one accurate to what the original G2 figure was. But looking all around, some very nice detailing and very nice weapon storage. I love the weapon storage on this figure. The fact that the sword can store onto here and also become a hitch for the trailer, I think is pretty cool. And on the bottom, relatively a decent amount of kibble. The one thing I do not like about this figure is these back wheels. It is such a weird way to transform them with these folding out plates, these pull-out wheels and all that. You'll see a lot more of it with the transformation. But yeah, it is a nice figure in vehicle mode. And now, the G2 Legacy Leader Class Optimus Prime is pretty different to what the other one was. It has a more accurate deco to the original, much better shape, comes with the trailer, and yes, I did apply toy hacks, so mine looks pretty cool, but this is a lot more what I'd imagine with a semi-truck G2 Optimus Prime, and you know, it turns out pretty well. I mean, the molding all over the figure is very, very nice, although there are a lot of issues with this. Let's take off the trailer to start off with it. So this figure does share some similarities in parts with the Earthrise Optimus Prime, that being the legs, and you could see it, and I really, sometimes, I do not like that this has a second hitch right here, which this is also from the Siege Optimus Prime, and, you know, that had a whole different gimmick, but I personally don't like the legs. I think they're posable, and they were good for Siege, but this guy should at least had some fresh legs, and I think that's a little lazy. And these love to fold back in. They do not have a good, friction and staying out, and I don't like the big fat arms just sticking out of the back of the truck. I think it's kind of lame, you know, but overall the truck mode is very nice with or without toy hacks. The toy hacks definitely enhance it a lot, but even without them, it's still pretty cool. And then before we do a comparison of both of them in vehicle mode, here is the trailer. The trailer is pretty cool. I'm glad it's a fresh, design for it, and not some kind of, retool or remold of the Earthrise trailer. It does have a removable gun on the top, and is good weapon storage for his, sword and shield. And transforms like so to a little battle station, which is cool, you know? With the toy hacks, it definitely makes it feel more alive. I will say that. So that's nice. But without toy hacks, it's just a big gray blob. If you really want to see footage of what this figure looks like pre-toy hacks, then you can look at my TikTok review that I did about a year ago. But yeah, along with that, you know, you also have the weapons. The weapons are able to store onto the base figure. The sword can store on the bottom. And then the shield can store up here. Yeah, right there. So it does have some decent weapon storage. I'd say not as clever as the Reveal the Shields Optimus. But yeah, that's about it for the vehicle modes for both of these figures. For size comparisons, here we have the G2 Optimus Primes with Core Class G2 Megatron, G2 Siege Sideswipe, Netflix Earthrise Optimus Prime, Generation Selects G2 Megatron, Legacy G-Axis, and Blitzwing. And here we have the RTS Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And as I mentioned, this is a stylized take on the G2 Optimus Prime, but I think it pulls it off very well. So we get a lot of new details on this figure, and even things that are like super micro details. Inside the chest right here, you could even see things like the Matrix, and I feel like this figure had so much love put into it when being made. The clever backpack, I love the transformation on the chest, and even though I'm not a fan of how these wheels transform, I think it's a cool idea at least. And, you know, you actually get a pretty poseable figure. The head can move left and right, can look up and down. Can't really T-pose, has a swivel here, elbow, and a swivel at the wrist. A kind of swivel at the waist, I guess you can use it for certain poses. Can kick forward, a swivel here, knee, and a full pivot. So honestly, pretty, like, the posability is very similar to what we get on figures today. And that's honestly impressive, knowing this is more posable than certain modern figures. And that's honestly very nice to see. And this figure did come with an accessory, that being the sword that you transform. And, yeah, it looks pretty nice. The sword, you could get some really nice poses with him. Yeah, I mean, it's just a fun figure. Even though it's not fully accurate, it's still very fun and stylized and, like, unique. I think it's very unique. I think it's very fun and cool. But yeah, let's go to the Legacy one, shall we? And here we have Leader Class Legacy United Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And this is definitely a very nice screen accurate figure. I definitely think this is pretty cool. So, of course, like I said, this one is more based on the toy and artwork and all that stuff. And this does have the toy hacks along with some custom painted eyes. So this figure is very, very nice, but it does have a lot, and I mean a lot of flaws. First things first, these shoulder pylons cannot move. And yes, I know there are upgrades. I know there are 3D printed things I could get for it, but to be honest, I don't really want to do that. The most I really want to do is toy hacks, and even that's still like work to do. But other features on this figure, he does have these pieces that could flip out where he has missiles, which I think is pretty cool. You could get him in like a cool pose where he's like blasting like that. But also he does include a matrix of leadership that you can remove, but it is in there pretty good because it's on a flat surface. Basically the same thing as the Earthrise figure. Has a very nice face sculpt. Originally this figure had blue eyes, and these were painted to be yellow. But yeah, very nice. And as for the posability, other than the shoulders, the head can move left and right, can only look up far if you move this piece and untransform it. Can't really look down that far. T-pose, can punch forward, swivel here, elbow, and a swivel at the wrist. A full swivel at the waist, can do the splits, kick forward, swivel here, knee, and a pivot. So, to be honest, I'd say the old one has way better posability than this guy. And which does kind of suck, but this guy definitely does have more of a presence than that other one, than the RTS one. And even that, you get the sword and shield. Now, these two can combine, as you all hopefully remember, the Evo Fusion, or the combination, the Legacy combination thing. Yeah, the sword just combines like that. And then you get this cool big sword, which I do like a lot. I think the big sword actually looks pretty nice, and I really, really dig it a lot. But aside from that, he does also have the turret, and this is kind of more where this kind of feels more natural, or if you have like core class bots and all that, you can act like he's like commanding it to shoot or something like that, or you could take this off and do what I do and just use it as a gun, which also doesn't look that bad. But yeah, that's there isn't really much to this Optimus Prime. I mean, you do have all the new gimmicks and features, but really does that make this figure better? I mean, when you look at the original one, the 2012 one, that figure retailed for $13.99, while this figure is $54.99. So, take your pick. Let's go to the final size comparisons, and then I will conclude my thoughts. For size comparisons, here we have the G2 Optimus Primes with G2 Core Class Megatron, Siege G2 Sideswipe, Netflix Earthrise Optimus Prime, G2 Generation Selects Megatron, and Legacy G2 G-Axis, and Blitzwing. So overall, I'm honestly not sure how I feel. On the one hand, we have the Legacy figure. That is a great update to the design and is a great addition to the collection. And it's a good improvement as a leader class. But then you have the Deluxe, that is a cheaper alternative, is fun, has a lot of the good qualities that the design has, and I feel like the stylization looks great. So it's honestly what you prefer, but in my personal recommendation, I like the Legacy one. I like the look of the replication of the toy, but the RTS one does have a special place in my heart since it was a gift from my uncle a little before he passed away. He gave it to me sealed, and I still love this figure. It's a desk toy to this day, and I would love to get a Scourge repaint of it. And, both of these molds are really fun, and, they liked this RTS figure so much that even companies made a sword to replicate it, And, if you could get both of these figures, I recommend it. But if you only need one, then if you want a more fun one, then I'd recommend the RTS one. But if you want something that has a shelf presence that looks really cool, then I recommend the Legacy or the Legacy United one. But overall, I like both of these figures. I like these designs a lot. But what do you guys think of these figures? Do you have these figures? If you do, which one do you like the most? Leave it down in the comments down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this new change to my Transformers reviews. More Godzilla reviews are coming in the future. I got some goodies coming in the mail, so expect those in the near future. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.